here's an idea that I think is worth considering. Can somebody perhaps President Joe Brandon or just make a political issue out of just junk and scam email and phone calls, which now are
basically wild. You can't use your phone anymore.
98% of like all phone calls and like emails that you receive are just straight up like crimes, just straight up people trying to rob you, and there doesn't seem to be any attempt made to just like stop this, or I don't know. Hey, could you cut down? It's like maybe half of the phone calls and emails I get are not just attempting to rob me.
This is I know you're saying, oh, why isn't Brandon doing something about this? This is actually part of his abolitionist agenda to allow these crimes to go unpoliced because of ACAB. ACAB includes people who would stop them from calling you about how you have to pay your IRS bill in Amazon gift cards.
The scam phone call thing, which every American seems to get about 30 a day, I've noticed. I mean, time and time again, I have to say, why even have an NSA? What the fuck are we doing with this thing? We built the greatest surveillance apparatus in the history of humanity, something that no one ever could have conceived. They could go anywhere. They could see anything. They have metadata of everything. And they can't just go like, oh, here's a guy's house in India where he makes 47% of the calls to Illinois saying that their vehicle warranty expired and he needs to, the recipient needs to send their social security card and routing number. What the fuck? I mean, like, we're never getting rid of the NSA, obviously. It's just one of those things. One of those things that everyone will live with until this entire thing comes down, like student loans. But what the fuck is it doing? It can't do anything about this. Are you serious?
And again, like, it should be like we are the only country in the world where this is a thing. I mean, I'm sure there are phishing phone calls in other countries, but I mean, like, that we all know it. Everyone who has a cell phone knows that, like, any number that you get that's not in your contact book, don't pick up the phone.
Well, I will say that America has much looser personal data sale regulations than any other country. Well, any other industrialized country. Yeah, because it has to, because it's the only new thing that you can make money off of.
Exactly. Like, we basically have replaced the petrodollar with the data dollar at this point, and those things only have value because we have access to them.
Yeah. If you've been to Europe and you just go to like a news website you usually go to, like, it loads about like 90% faster. And all that like Chrome crashing that happens in America, it doesn't happen over there. All of that is just like data mining. Everything runs like shit here because you could just mine everything from everybody. But in the EU, where there is some regulation on it, your shit doesn't just brick like that. We're also probably never going to change this because, like, there has to be something. There has to be something, because it's like it's either that or companies that lose $70 billion a year in a quest to gain total market share, while also having the secondary benefit of providing a more precarious middle class with the experience of having servants.
Yeah. Like, that data is essentially worthless. It's just the collective decision that it's hypothetically effective to use in market ads. That's the collective. That's the same as the lie that, like, the US dollar is backed by something. Like, you have to believe it for the circulation to take place.
It's incredibly easy to just get a bunch of phone numbers pinned to like any consumption choice in America. It's incredibly easy. I mean, one might say that America is the real Romeo dialer's paradise.
I guess that way, like, you could look at like this thing as like a necessary black market parasitic part of the greater data economy. Like, you got the legal pharmaceutical industry, and then you've got illegal drug trafficking, but they're both necessary.
It's like how you could theoretically stop all drugs from entering the United States if you screened every single shipment that comes in, but that is absolutely impossible. Same deal here.
I mean, it just seems to me like you can, whether it's like student loan relief or legalizing marijuana, easy things that Biden could do but doesn't and won't do. And people will say, well, those are issues that only appeal to like people who were going to vote for him anyway. And, like, there's a certain amount of truth to that. But when it comes to the scam phone calls that annoy everyone, I think this is an issue that like everybody can get behind, where it's not just like, snotty young people or just like, the assholes that voters don't like. I think like, voting tax-paying Americans could get behind.
I mean, they would get behind it for sure, but I don't really think that they're gonna credit Brandon enough to pick him again and his party again.
Probably not.
I just don't think so. I think it's way too late. There's too many other things associated with the Brandon brand,